Good morning all. A couple of things before I start this testimony to Liam's course, of course. One is thank you, Liam, for all your time and effort you've put into the course and your backstory to help other people, which has obviously helped myself and other people. And secondly, I'm about to get ready for work, and I thought I'd quickly do this video in uniform so you know I'm a real person and not someone's paid to do this or fake. I'm actually a real person that has been through tinnitus and hypoacusis, and I actually had patchless eustachian tube as well. So if you don't know what that is, it means your eustachian tube is open, and every time you breathe it pops in your head and you just hear yourself talking. It feels like you've got a bucket over your head and shouting at yourself. I think that's probably worse than tinnitus personally, but I'm just going to go through my backstory quickly, and then how I managed it and it finally went, it's cured. So my backstory, how I think I got tinnitus, and it started when I had a car crash. It was quite a serious one. The car rolled 3 times and it went down a ditch. I jolted my neck and my back, and I couldn't move for a little while. I was in hospital for a long time. Finally come out, and I was on medication. I come off the medication, I started getting these thunderbolt things at my neck. I can't explain what it is. It's like brain zaps. They call it brain zaps. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it feels like you're zapping your brain. And I was like, that's a bit weird. So I just left it, and that went on for weeks, brain zaps. I didn't go to a doctor or anything. I just left it, and I hoped it went away. And it never went away. My anxiety went up from that. And then, long story short, I went to bed and I heard a whooshing noise in my ears and in my head, and it's like all over my head, and a high-pitched ring, beep, like really, really loud. It's a 10 out of 10, honestly. It was probably more like a 20 out of 10. Yeah, that really, really got to me. And that was going on for months, and I finally thought, all right, I'm going to go to a doctor, because that's not right. And I went to a doctor, and they obviously couldn't help me. They looked into my ears are fine. I had an hearing test. My hearing test is perfect. It is better. My hearing test is better now, and when I had tinnitus, than it was years ago when I joined up to the military 12 years ago, when I had all my hearing tests then. So I don't know what that's about. So it's definitely not hearing induced or hearing loss I've got. It's something to do with my, I don't know, auditory system in my head, or brain inflammation, or could be anything. So I was looking like everyone else does, and looking online what to do, and you fall into a trap on posts that people put on which you don't really want to do, really, like negative posts and people slating each other, and it's really horrible. So I kind of like on Reddit, I kind of like fizzled out from that anyway, because I'm a positive person. I don't do that, and I knew I wanted to get rid of this. Because of my background, I would never give up, you know. I would always keep thriving forwards of what I'm going to do, of I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cure this thing in my head. And I didn't know what it was. I knew it was tinnitus, but I didn't know what tinnitus was. I thought it was just a beep, but then I obviously researched into it. There's just a lot more things to it. And then I went to a gathering. And then I had an argument with a girlfriend at the time, right? She was in a car, she was drunk. She screamed, so I still had this beep and this whooshing sound. She screamed and shouted in my ear, knowing I had this, right, for months. And it made it worse, right? It turned into hypoacusis. My tinnitus overnight turned into hypoacusis. And the noise turned into a fuzzy TV sound at the back of my head. It was worse. And I couldn't listen to traffic. So every day I wake up, and each time I ate as well, it got worse when I ate. I ate, and then I'm going, so it's that static noise. When I was chewing as well, the chewing is making static noises up and down in my head, and it's horrible. It's like a high pitched static. I can't make the noise of it. And it's like when you bang your head and you go like that. That's what was the noise. When I touched my face, it got worse. When I sat in a room and pressures changed, it got worse. When I was around noisy people, it got worse. When I was traffic, sorry, you can hear the traffic outside. When I was at the traffic outside, it got worse. Going shit, and I couldn't listen to anything. So I hid away. Depression kicked in and everything. I didn't know what to do. And each time I had a shower, it got worse. It just anything I did, it just hyperacoustics. It's horrible. I lost a lot of weight because I didn't want to eat. So literally I was fasting without even knowing I was fasting, which is not good, by the way, because I wasn't ready to fast. Then I lost weight, and then I developed something called PET, patch elicitation tube, right? And that's when because I lost weight. When you lose weight quick, then people develop that. That's when I was breathing and my ears were popping into my head, and I started triple the things, and that's just as bad as well. So I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? And I stumbled upon Liam's work on YouTube. I was looking at his free videos, so I started implementing stuff, like his free stuff, you know, his like cold showers. I was doing that. The eating, so I went to keto. I slowly transitioned into keto, into carnivore, and then I went into carnivore, but then I kind of like transitioned back into ketovore because I did want onions and garlic and herbs, and I was eating all that. So through that period, I was like dead on a carnivore diet for about 6 months, and then I kind of backtracked a little bit. Then, but every like 3 months, I used to have a treat day, I used to call it. So I had like a little bit of carbs, and I was finding it like really hard to put on weight because at this time I was fasting as well. So I was eating like, I was used to intermittent fast about 16/8 they called it, yeah, 16 off, 8 on. Yeah, all I was eating is meat, eggs, nutritional yeast and liver. And that was it, that was my diet. I needed to put weight back on because I lost so much weight. I was like, what am I going to do to that? How am I going to put weight back on? So funny enough, right, I started eating 1 meal a day, even though that's like the opposite thing to do. But I was putting more into a massive omelette. Like I made a massive 6-egg omelette, and in that 6-egg omelette, I had mince, bacon, sausage, burger, liver, kimchi on top, and raw cheese. That's all I ate. I ate that for months. And oh yeah, and bone marrow, full of good stuff. I ate that for months, and my PET went, right? And my tinnitus, still obviously, it's fluctuating all the time. And that was like fluctuating like high, low, every time I wake up, big low days, high days, low days, whatever, and it's just kept going on and on and on. So that's the eating part, okay? And then I started putting a little bit of weight on because I started making, I went online and started looking at keto cakes. It's not like the best idea, but I wanted to put weight on, so I started making keto cakes made out of, I know that's not to say this, but you know, almond flour. It's full of like, obviously oxalates, salicylates, but I needed to put weight on without spiking my insulin. So if anyone's struggling with weight, then keto cakes is the way forwards. But that's not part of the course, by the way. That's just what I did. And then like I started implementing other things, so like cold showers, I said this, and with the healthy eating, and I started grounding. I was going out in the sun. So I live in England, you see, so it's rarely sunny, but when it is sunny, I'm always out with my barefoot down the sea, because I live by the seaside, because I'm Navy, obviously, so I'm quite lucky at that. I'm always in the sea, barefoot. And then I started looking into like supplements. So when it's not hot and sunny, I started taking D3K2, CoQ10. And then I looked into something called methylene blue, and that is like a cheat hack for your mitochondria to give it a boost. So what that does is puts the oxygen and energy straight into the cells, so it crosses the blood-brain barrier into your cells, and that's what methylene blue does. I'd definitely look into that. It's all over the internet. Dr. Berg talks about it actually, so if you go on Google and look at Dr. Berg, methylene blue, he talks about it. It's not just him, by the way, there's loads of other people. Through this period of me implementing all of Liam's course, it started to go down really slowly. You know, every time I woke up, it's a bit lower and lower and lower. And because I was keto, I was looking into going into the fasting. So I did my fasting, but after I put the weight back on, I started fasting again. Like long periods of fasting. So I was doing a day fast every day. So 23-hour fast every day, 1 meal a day. And then I started implementing, then I started building up to like a 2-day fast, dry fast by the way. So I left it for a month, then a 3-day dry fast, left it for a month, then a 4-day dry fast, left it for a month. And 6 months after that, I was doing a 3 to 4 day dry fast in the middle of the month. I did it on when I was at work, I did it on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So yeah, so around the Tuesday I did, well, Monday night, Tuesday morning, I broke my fasts. And there's plenty of, if you're asking me how I'm going to break my fast, I did it with water, obviously, salt water, potassium and bone broth, then slowly build up with eggs. Yeah, so I did this for months and months. I was regimented on what I was doing for months, and there was always light at the end of the tunnel, I know this for sure. So I never give up. I never give up on stuff like this. I enjoy the journey. Now I've got to the end of the journey, I don't know what to do, you know. I still go to the gym. That's one thing I didn't explain actually, because I'm quite like a gym athletic person. I did stop going to the gym when I was depressed and didn't want to go outside, but then I cut all that out and I started going to the gym, and it made me feel better just talking to other people and just working out really gets back on track. If you want to hear my full story, I've actually posted it on the Silence Facebook. Liam's already seen it and he's commented on it as well. So if you're interested in my full story, I'll go into a bit more detail of every subject we just talked about then. And this is just a testimony to Liam. So I'm saying thank you very much, Liam. Your course is amazing. It's worked. Parasites. I forgot to mention parasites. I did a power cleanse, and people always talk about this parasite cleanse. Before that, actually, you've got to do a lymphatic system cleanse, and you've got to get rid of all your stones and that for the parasite cleanse to work. So you've got everything working before you do a parasite cleanse. So it's good to do the stone breaker first. If you want to do the stone breakers, get rid of all your stones and, you know, to clear all your passageways out. So the parasite cleanse will work a lot better when you do that. The parasite cleanse, I use power 1, 2, 3, and I use I can't remember what it's called, but I did put it on my YouTube. But that's the one you need, because when you do power 1, 2 and 3, your parasites die inside your body, right, and they stay there, right? The other one, the binder, that's it, the binder, toxic binder, that's the one that binds it all together and you poo it out. That's the one that gets rid of it or weed it out and whatever. You need all 4. And it's called the moon kit or something, I can't remember. Cell core moon kit or something like that. And they tell you exactly how you do it and what to do. And yes, I did discrete a parasite, and at the time my tinnitus was of like a 4 when I did this, and it went down to like a 1, like 0.51, and it's really good. No, it went to a 1, it went to a 0.5 after I started methylene blue. Anyway, I've backtracked. So I followed Liam's course step by step as he sets it out in the course. Which works perfect, you know. It's not a race, just do it in your own time. There's no race. Please don't rush into anything. Please just take it slow as you need, and like I said, it's the journey that counts. And all you need is a little bit of discipline, right? That's in my background, discipline. I found it easy. I shouldn't say easy, I found it is challenging, but the discipline part of it I found easy. You've got to be integral, you've got to stay committed. That's all the core values you need to expand on, and it makes you a better person at the end of it. 100% it does. If I had to take one thing away and one thing only, if I had to choose one out of the whole course, it's a positive mindset. There's not one that makes anything better. There's fasting, yes, that's good. Yes, healthy eating, yes, that's good. Grounding, yes, that's good. But you need a positive mindset. That's the one you should take away from this course. Oh yeah, and I need to mention as well, like, I got my tinnitus down to like a 0.5 to 1, and at that it was staying in my head with a little bit of hypoacusis for about 9 months, maybe a year. Like it literally stayed there for ages, and all I did was be persistent of what I was doing, and then it finally like died out. Literally just I woke up and it was just like little bits, and it like finally like died out. And that's the hardest bit, is the last bit. That was for me anyway. Even though we went to a 0.51, and sometimes it went up a little bit more and then it went down again. It's like it just biting me in the bum all the time. I was like, what's going on? It was like an ex-girlfriend that you didn't want. It's like a little fly or something. You just wanted to swat it away, but it never went. But there you go. Thank you, Liam, for your course. You've been a really good bloke. When you're in England next, like London, I missed you last time because I was deployed away. This is a bum, because it would have been cool to meet you and I would have bought you coffee. No, not a coffee, because that's bad for you. Yeah, we would have met up and we'd have had a laugh. We would have had to pull some women, because I'm good at that. Have a good day, right? If you've got any questions, just like inbox me or whatever. I've got to go to work because they're probably wondering where I am. Anyway, see you later.